My name is Reginald Sylvester II. I am an artist. I've always been an artist ever since I was born. My dad's an artist, still to this day, which is it's not his focus, but he's still a very creative individual. Yeah, seeing my pops draw and do projects, side projects, and then him putting a pencil in my hand or a crayon in my hand, and giving me paper and allowing me to express myself on paper. Or sometimes I would express myself on walls and get in trouble for it. But it started as a kid, and as I got older, I guess I was always honing my skills in a way, but never really took it serious. And then when I went to high school, my last year of high school, I was taking some advanced art classes. And that's where I really started to, I guess, really learn the possibilities that could come from art, whether, being a graphic designer or a fine artist or an illustrator. We used to have a lot of different individuals come and talk to us about, what could happen or what possibilities could come from art. And we had a graphic designer come by. He gave me two options or two suggestions on where I could go to school to learn further. I ended up going to the Academy of Art University, majoring in graphic design. I couldn't finish, unfortunately, due to financial reasons. And so once I couldn't go back to school anymore, um, I had to figure it out. I was like, I started to work for different companies, just doing just regular jobs. But then I felt like, I went to school for about 3 to 4 years. I was almost done, didn't get to finish, but I feel like I acquired enough knowledge and information to start to work for myself. Freelancing was a very important thing for me because I had to go out there and hustle and get these jobs. I started to take on jobs from, with working with people that I knew, them referring me and me working with other individuals. Um, and that turned in from me doing, you know, graphics to logos to um, logos, branding to packaging design to um, even designing for a few um, cult streetwear brands. So it definitely led to a corporate opportunity with working with Gap Corp, where I was a uh, advertisement designer. I would work on graphics and different ad campaigns for Old Navy, and really interacting with the creatives there. They were aware of me doing other things, and they, encouraged me to pursue those things and not get stuck in the mode of a corporate uh, mold. And so I went back into the freelance world, and you know, slowly but surely, my hunger to become an artist and be respected as an artist, not just as a graphic designer or a contractor, grew. And I got a few great opportunities. Those opportunities led me to um, New York. And at that time, I got this amazing opportunity through Red Bull to display at Art Basel 2013. And what I was able to show at a small fair there called Scope Miami. Um, I displayed four of the paintings that I displayed, two of them sold, which I was very blessed that that happened. One of the paintings that was sold, it was sold to actually uh, my gallerist that I have today. He was a dealer at that time. He had a studio visit with me when visiting New York, and we grew, we started to build, and we, built a relationship, with one another. Um, and at the same time, we built a business relationship as well. When I came to a body of work that I was very proud of and that I was ready to really display. He threw my first show for me, which is called In Search of a Wonderful Place, and that happened here in New York City. It was a very, very great success. Um, and from that's where I would say my serious art career began. My struggles, I feel, I think, struggles that any normal young man, you know, would go through. Obviously, leaving college, trying to find work, you know, obviously trying to have some type of independence, living on your own, uh, really trying to figure out what it is that you're, meant to do. And I think probably maybe the biggest struggle was setting up a foundation for myself and understanding that where I set myself up at wasn't necessarily where I wanted to be, but then I had an opportunity or a chance to chase where I wanted to be, and me taking the risk to leave a comfortable situation and get into a very uncomfortable situation for my goals and for what I really was passionate for. Because of my color, things are a tad bit harder. Recently had a solo exhibition at uh, Fondazione Stellini in Milan. Um, and at my opening night, I got called a nigger at my show. I definitely didn't expect that, but um, nor did it really truly affect me in a crazy way. It just showed me that you know racism and prejudice is something that continuously goes on, not just in the States, but everywhere else. I've given up definitely spending quality time with family. I have three younger sisters that I think about all the time. Moving to New York wasn't easy, um, but I did what I had to do. No regrets. Every mistake when I thought it was a mistake at the time, you learn something from that. I'm a big believer in God and have a lot of faith in Him, and He brings you through different trials and tribulations so that you learn from them and you grow, makes you who you are. So I definitely don't regret anything. Having patience and enduring is, you know, are some of the most important things, because whenever you're chasing something great, you know, things are not going to go, things are not going to work quick. They're not going to come fast. Any advice I would give, to anybody who is trying to pursue being an artist is don't be in a rush. That's the least, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. Because when you're in a rush, you make rash decisions, and rash decisions leads you in places where longevity necessarily won't exist for you. I'm grateful for just being able to live and do what I love to do, and to have a purpose, to know my purpose. I'm interested in longevity. I'm interested in doing this for the rest of my life, and timelessness, and really being remembered.